Welcome to Ranger Stadium, final game of the regular season. Smithson Valley taking on the New Braunfels Unicorns, and with the win, the Rangers can claim the 27-6A title outright. On the Rangers Network, I'm Brain Freeman. Alongside me, Tony Brubaker here for you on the Rangers Network. And Tony, last week we saw a wild football game. The Rangers a 40-37 win at overtime against the Judson Rockets. Some believe that 27-6A is the toughest district in the state, and again, Smithson Valley 48 minutes away from winning the title in the 27-6A district. Still more to come in our pregame coverage. We'll break down tonight's matchup and visit with Rangers head coach Larry Hill. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut.
We just got the GVTC Connect Home with Sky Bell.
Wow, you can see who's at your front door. Who is that?
Hello, Mr. Mueller. It's Marty from GVTC.
That's Mason Pierce, senior wide receiver and defensive back for the Rangers.
No, just Marty. Making sure everything's working. Video, doorbell, remote arming and disarming of your alarm. And you're getting text messages when windows or doors are opened.
Marty, watch this. RANGERS, Rangers, Rangers!
The best! I mean, the best security on the planet.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for HEB. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
Here we go, tied ball game with just 2 seconds left on the clock, and the Rangers are looking to score. Here's a snap. Bayless, who is wide open down the near sideline. And he makes a catch at the 10, the 5, touchdown. My goodness, what a play, and the Rangers win. And welcome back to Ranger Stadium, about ready for kickoff here for the final game of the regular season. And again, Smithson Valley is postseason bound. In fact, the Rangers will play here at Ranger Stadium next Friday in the first round of the Division II 6A postseason against either Jay or Brandeis. Those two playing tonight. So, Tony, the stakes coming into the game last week, we thought the stakes of this game might be very high. If the Rangers did not win that game in overtime against the Rockets, this would be a virtual playoff game this evening. It's not. Stakes not as high as they may have been, but for the Rangers to get a chance to win the 27-6A title, that's big.
You know, and it could have been even big for New Braunfels had they not fallen last week. They would be playing for a right to be in the playoffs.
Right.
And would have had to upend Smithson Valley to get that chance. Because they lost last week, they lost that opportunity.
Lost to Clemens 17-7. That was a scoreless game at halftime last week. 3-0 Clemens at the end of 3. And the Buffaloes put the game away late. The Braunfels in offense first. This game is underway. Indulgent kick from Mason Reed, returning after a 1-week absence. The kick is deep for a touchback. And we could look now at senior quarterback Ryan Redding. In his career, nearly 5,000 total yards of offense, 43 touchdowns. He is a threat.
He has been the man for their offense for a couple of years, and a dangerous weapon for him because, again, he runs and throws equally well.
We should note, though, that in this game a year ago, the Rangers shut him down. Redding only 87 total yards in what was a Smithson Valley win over the Unicorns, 50-14. And Reading operates a 4 wide and first down. It is a run. The first play of the game for New Braunfels is a good one. Out across the 30 to the 31-yard line for Piali Thomas, their junior tailback. At least 600 yards rushing on the year, 7 touchdowns. Good opening play for New Braunfels.
Yeah, and averages 9.5 yards a carry, which is unusual for a running back to get anywhere near that. And you saw right there where we thought we had him a yard or 2, he gets 5 out of it.
Just underway from Ranger Stadium, no score, 30 seconds in. Reading and the offense going to work on 2nd and 5, and Reading will keep it himself. He's got the first down and more. Near the 40-yard line, slides down to the 38. 2 plays in and a first down for New Braunfels.
Great tackle by Brady Chubb, the strong safety who's come on for an excellent season in this his senior year. Reading again a dual threat, and we saw right there carried out a great fake to the running back and got free himself.
Chubb had 11 tackles last week in the win over the Rockets. As New Braunfels, with 6 wins on the year, operates at its own 38. 1 minute gone by in a scoreless game. A screen pass is ruled complete out to about the 40-yard line. Pulling it in is Zachary Yaws, senior receiver, at times tailback for the Unicorns, and now 2nd down and 8.
Quick pass, tried to get it out there, tried to do like a screen, Brant, but the throw was such that he had to dive just to make the catch.
That's this New Braunfels offense. A lot of the screen game for head coach Glenn Mangold in his 4th season now at the helm for New Braunfels. On 2nd down and 8, Reading will throw. A quick pass, it's caught. Nice attempt there to haul it in by Austin Schriever. Tony and I were talking about him in the pregame show. That's good for about 5 yards to bring up 3rd down and short.
Most catches on the team with 26, and yet only 2 touchdowns. So not really the guy they look for in the red zone.
He had a big game about 5 weeks ago at Canyon, over 100 yards receiving. Since then, only 101 yards in 4 combined games for Schriever. He lines up wide to the right on 3rd down and 3 at the New Braunfels 45. And Reading will run it on the option, trying to find the corner. Stumbles his way down to the 47. He needed the 48, though, for the first down, and 4th and short coming up now for the Unicorns.
Good looking play from his part, though Chubb missed a tackle there. Good job by Woodard to come up and finish it. This is a young man who will be elusive if we don't make the initial tackle.
You know, I wonder here, New Braunfels has nothing to lose in this game, a chance to spoil Smithson Valley's title hopes, so why not? And they'll go for a 4th down and a yard at their own 47. And Reading will hand off to Thomas up the middle, darts ahead for the first down. Good run play there from Thomas, a junior, and New Braunfels keeps possession.
Straight ahead blocking by the offensive line that time. They got enough of a surge for the extra couple of yards they needed.
And there's some big bodies on that New Braunfels offensive line. Look at left tackle, big number 71, Weston Wright, 6'7", 305 pounds.
He's the biggest by far, and he is a definite candidate to play on Saturdays.
From midfield and first down, Reading will throw, pressured, going deep, got a man open, and the pass broken up. Woodard at the last second knocked it away, and there again, Tanner Steele was wide open. Reading late in seeing him as Woodard looks a little shaken up.
Reading got some great blocking on that play by Weston Wright as Keeler had come around the right end and had a chance to get into Reading, but again, Wright did a great job of keeping him away, and that gave Reading a chance to step up and make the long throw. His receiver, though, had to wait for it, and Woodard is still down as there was a pretty serious contact between he and the receiver on that play.
Ranger Stadium as quiet as you've ever heard it right now. Trevon Merrick Woodard, the hero last week, caught the game-winning touchdown against Johnson, star player over the past 3 seasons, bound for TCU's program next year, a player that nobody throws the ball against. Teams try to kick the ball away from him in the punt and kickoff return games, and is slow to get up right now. All the eyes right now are on Trevon Merrick Woodard, and now being helped up, and the Rangers hope it's nothing serious.
Certainly could have been something as simple as just got the wind knocked out of him, which you expect on something like that, or maybe got hit in a different part that just stings for a while. He seems to be okay as he walks off, almost more shook up than anything.
Helmet is off as Braunfels sets up 2nd and 10. And in a quarterback at his place, Christian Romano here on 2nd down. There's motion for the Braunfels. It is a handoff to Steele, the motion man, trying to find an alley. And the Rangers slam him down inside of midfield to the 48 for a couple of yards. 3rd down, 8 to go.
So what if we run 6 or 7 plays? The defense to me just looks like right now for Smithson Valley that they're still just feeling it out.
Yeah.
No one has really broken loose very far. The pass play would have been the biggest pass play we've seen in a while. But the defense is getting there, just not as quickly as we've seen him in the past. And I think they're just still feeling out the Unicorn offense.
And this defense for the Rangers has been tough all year long. In district play alone, they have forced 15 turnovers. 3rd and 8 for Reading, and the Braunfels offense. He will throw a strike and a 1st down inside the 40. Out of bounds is Ethan Dulaban at around the 36-yard line, and right away Braunfels picks on Romano at cornerback.
Dulaban's one of those receivers that's an excellent athlete. Again, we talked about the fact that he leads the team with 4 touchdown receptions, but he's a young man who can go up and get the ball in traffic as well.
Again, Trevon Merrick Woodard on the sidelines, right now on the table, and looked at by the training staff. Possession for the Braunfels already more than 3 minutes old. Now the Rangers 37. It began at their own 25. Reading on the quarterback run, unable to slip the tackle of Jacob Zuber, but not many people have been able to do that this year.
Zuber, leading tackler on the team, and that time wrapped him up and wouldn't let him go. Jacob has had a marvelous season, and this is senior year.
That good for 2 yards to bring up 2nd down and 8. Zuber over the past 2 games alone, 37 tackles, 21 against Canyon. 2nd down and 8 to go for Reading in the offense for New Braunfels. At the Ranger 35, a throw to the far side is incomplete. Or did he bring it in? To Shriver, they are going to say that he was out of bounds. So, 3rd and long now coming up for New Braunfels.
One of the things that I've heard all week is they don't drop a lot of passes, though I would think that would have to be under that description. That was right in his hands as he did a little out route and didn't hang on to it.
Well, this might not be, one play, and that's it for New Braunfels here. We've already seen them go for a 4th down once in the drive, back at their own end of the field. So it might be 2 plays here to get 8 yards. On 3rd and 8, Steele the motion man. A fake to him, a run for Reading, and runs right into Zuber. Also there was Keeler. Those two have been arguably 2 of the Rangers' best defensive players in their front 7 this season. And now 4th and 6 for New Braunfels.
And it's funny because you stack one up as the right defensive end and the other is the outside linebacker right off of his shoulder. This right side of the defense, left side of the offense has been tough going all year long.
We can report, by the way, that Woodard is off the table and back onto the field. Great sign for the Rangers. 4th and 6 now for New Braunfels. Again, not much to play for, so why not? And Reading steps up, looking, throws deep, and overshot his receiver. Looking for Yaws downfield, but a long developing play there. Great defense by Smithson Valley.
And he took a really nice hit by Jack Gibbons to make that throw even tougher. I just think his whole deal getting rid of the ball there was let's get an incomplete pass at the least and get the ball, in a situation where they can't intercept it.
Now, if there is a silver lining for the Braunfels, that drive not yielding points ate up a lot of clock. The first quarter clock already nearly halfway expired. 6:26 to go in the opening quarter. No score as we see Levi Williams take the field for his 10th start this year. So far, 8-1, same record as the team, obviously. It goes to work from his zone 33. And on 1st down, he will throw a completion to a Dorsal Hunter. What a target he's been this year. Up across the 45 to the 46-yard line for Ranger 1st down.
Nice looking play there. You have Gilliam going deep, straight out. You had Pearson motion as the receiver. He goes about 10, 15 yards and out. and you just dump it off to Hunter 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. He gets a nice gain and a really deceptive kind of play where the last guy is the one who got it.
Tony, I've gotten the sense from you that your favorite Ranger this season has been Dorsal Hunter.
He's made some big catches, and I think he needs to make big catches for this team.
Rangers' first running play and first down is a run for Aiken, and corkscrew down to the 46-yard line. New Braunfels defense that time on the stop for the Unicorns, Farley Bevel. Tony and I, before the game started, looked at this New Braunfels defense, and what really stood out is the play of their linebackers.
They are something else. 98 tackles with one of them, 91 with the other. They make a lot of plays.
Bevel, the one with 91, the other that Tony alluded to, Trevor Pierce, with 98. On first down, it is a running play, and the ball fumbled on the toss, and New Braunfels says they've got it. Officials will rule that Aiken jumped back into the football with about 5 New Braunfels players right over him. Somehow got back to it, and the Rangers fortunate to have it now 3rd down and 15.
Just watching there, the pitch didn't look bad necessarily. I just think Nick took his eye off of it too early and went down on the ground. He had already vacated the spot and had to really hurry back to get to it. New Braunfels trying to influence the officials on that call.
The Rangers have been a bit sloppy with the football the past few weeks. 7 turnovers over the past 3 games. On 3rd and 15, Williams will throw it towards the sideline for Woodard. Knocked away by Marcus Riley. The pass break up, and Smithson Valley's offense will punt the ball back to New Braunfels.
Levi Williams had nothing to do but just try to squirt it in there, and he knew that wasn't much of a chance. Woodard actually fell down and slipped down on his break on that play, and that's why that play wasn't as open as I think Levi Williams had hoped it would be.
Here is a snap to Brains Anderson. Didn't see much of him last week as Smithson Valley put up 40 against Judson. Had a fair catch called for and made by Colson Clark at the 14-yard line.
Probably one of the better punts we've seen from Brant Anderson in a while.
45-yard boot, no return. 4:41 to go, opening quarter, no score. Smithson Valley and New Braunfels, and again, the Unicorns defensively last week were very good against Clemens. Only allowed the Buffaloes to pick up 22 yards through the air last week, 1 completion for Clemens all of last week, and only 10 points given up to the Buffaloes offense. They scored 17, but they got a touchdown, a critical one, on a kickoff return late in the 4th quarter. Reading in the offense on a second possession. They will run a run on first down, and Reading weaving his way through the Ranger defense and dropped by Manoa Powpow and zoomed right around the 22. That's good for 8 yards, 2nd and 2 now.
After their first drive, I think their coaches probably saw one of the best weapons they have is his straight ahead run. Keep it off the edge. Don't let him go to the corners, but go straight ahead and see if he can find a seam to get a good gain. That time he did.
Earlier in the year, Reading ran for 222 yards against Seguin, and he's run for over 100 yards 4 times this season. On 2nd and short. This time we'll hand it off to Piale Thomas, and turns out the first down. On the stop there was Witcher along with Gibbons, and New Braunfels another fresh set of downs.
Their offensive line seems to be getting some surge right off the bat again on this drive like they did the first one. Defense again going to have to adjust and see where they can make a stop.
18th all-time meeting between these two. Smithson Valley leads the all-time series 9-8. New Braunfels, though, has not beaten the Rangers since 2009. First down run for Reading, finds a hole, breaks a tackle across the 40. There he goes. A chance to go all the way. Inside the 20, inside the 10, and pushed it to bounds. Ethan Sill, the touchdown-saving tackle inside the 5, all the way down to the 3-yard line.
And you saw right there what we talked about in the first drive. Not 1, not 2, 3 missed tackles at different points in the first 5, 10, and 20 yards of that run. He's a tough guy to bring down. The Rangers are finding out right now.
72-yard run for Reading, 1 yard shy of the season long, and there you see what New Braunfels' offense is capable of.
Yes.
Again, credit to Clemens and that great defense of theirs to hold this offense to 7 points last week. On first and goal now, Reading from the 3. Hands off to Thomas, up the left side, breaks a tackle, and he's in. Touchdown, New Braunfels. What a drive there. A quick one by the Unicorns, set up by the big run from Ryan Redding.
And Thomas scored the touchdown without one of his shoes on. They pulled off one of his shoes in the midst of that attempted tackle, but Unicorns strike first. 2 good drives they put together.
And for Piale Thomas, his 8th rushing score this season. Out for the PAT is Dalen Welch Lavender. And that kick is up. A line drive kick through the pipes, and the Unicorns have struck first. 3:19 to go, opening quarter. New Braunfels 7, Smithson Valley nothing. This is Ranger football on the Rangers Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for HEB. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
We just got the GVTC Connect home with Sky Bell.
Wow, you can see who's at your front door. Who is that?
Hello, Mr. Mueller. It's Marty from GVTC.
That's Mason Pierce, senior wide receiver and defensive back for the Rangers.
No, just Marty. Making sure everything's working. Video, doorbell, remote arming and disarming of your alarm. And you're getting text messages when windows or doors are opened.
Marty, watch this. RANGERS, Rangers, Rangers!
The best! I mean, the best security on the planet.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. And Braunfels on top, 7-0 moments ago. A 3-yard touchdown run by Piale Thomas, set up by the 72-yard gallop by quarterback Ryan Redding. And again, New Braunfels tonight trying to spoil the Rangers' hopes for an outright 27-6A title. And they can accomplish that with a win tonight. No matter what happens between Judson and Canyon, the Rangers got some help in that department last night with a thrilling win by Steele over Clemens, 14-13. A last-minute affair there in Cibolo. Short kickoff fielded by Aiken. Running at the 20, across the 30, has a block. Inside of midfield, there goes Nick Aiken. Still motoring inside the 20-yard line. Out of bounds, they'll mark him out at the 19. What a return there by Nick Aiken.
There is a flag.
All the way back in midfield, yeah.
Guess that would mean we'd be going back because they have already picked up the ball.
And there it is, the hold against Smithson Valley. So wipes out a great return by Aiken and a potential short field for the Rangers offensively.
And I'm sure you saw what I saw as he had the lane
He did.
on the outside edge of the field. Whether that happened or not,
Right.
I don't think it mattered. And yet it brings a kickoff return back, someone doing something somewhere that doesn't matter and gets caught.
29 yards on the return. And a 15-yard penalty.
And by the way, Smithson Valley facing an early deficit again. They were down virtually the entire game against Clemens, and of course last week traded blows with Judson. In that game, there were 7 lead changes last week. A game that featured 930 yards of offense, 37 first downs, but neither team led by more than 7 points. After the penalty, first down from the 39. And Williams will hand it off to Aiken. After the big return, he is absolutely drilled. Good hit there by Farley Bevel up to Braunfels. Second down and 8 to go.
Again, that's that linebacker we talked about, Pierce and Bevel. They're the 2 guys that have made most of the hits this year, and that was a big one.
And again, after early scare for Trevon Merrick-Woodard, still out there right now and playing wide receiver. From the 41, second down and 8. Williams pressured, flush out of the pocket, trying to make a play with his feet, and runs into about 4 Unicorns who finally force him out of bounds. And there we see Trevor Pierce in on that play for the Unicorns, and 3rd down and 5 now coming up for Smithson Valley.
I was watching the receivers on that play, and the 2 here on the near side both went about 15 yards and then just stopped and turned around. It's like they didn't really offer Levi a whole lot to throw to if this was the area he wanted to go to.
Haven't seen much of Mason Pierce, the receiver, in the game yet tonight. 3rd down, 4 to go. Just shy of midfield, and Williams will throw it. Here's the blitz, evades it. Throws off his back foot, and a catch made. Jeremiah Gilliam, filling in for the injured Ricky Rios, makes a 3rd down catch to the 1st down.
Gilliam's that guy that we've called upon late in the season. A lot of jet sweeps early on in the season. This time makes a big catch on a big 3rd down play.
And the Rangers inside of Unicorn territory now for the first time tonight. Final 100 seconds of the opening quarter. And New Braunfels on top 7-0. And here's motion from Woodard. He'll take the handoff. Has a block to the outside. It is stiff arm, and it is Thomas who wrestles him down short of the 40 at about the 30 or the 41-yard line. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
Good job. Most of the time that Woodard can get that stiff arm and keep a defender away. This time it didn't work, and he got spun out of bounds with a short gain. And
that actually was Trevor Pierce, the stop. And again, a tackling machine. 7 games this year with 10 tackles or more. 2nd and 7, run play for Aiken up the gut and powers his way to about the 37. That's 400 yards to bring up 3rd down and 3.
You know, there's been a lot of games this year where Nick Aiken has been able to squirt through and get good yardage. Tonight, every time he's carried the ball up the middle, he's been hit right near the line of scrimmage, and that time he was able to muscle ahead, but he's had some tough going up the middle tonight.
Last week against Judson, only 11 carries, but 52 hard-earned yards and a very important touchdown in the 2nd quarter. On 3rd down and 3, here's a run to the outside and 1st down yardage to the New Braunfels 31-yard line. Big gainer there for Chris Rivera. We spoke about him last week. Maybe the smallest player you'll see take the field tonight. Rivera 5'6" and $145.
Cooper Kaufman made the hit, and again it was a plant-type hit that, that Gilliam saw. I mean, not Gilliam. Rivera saw as he went to the sideline. He was planted right there.
1st quarter clock running down. Rangers down 7-0, and Williams will run a draw on the handoff to Aiken. How about that run? Darting inside the 25, hitting a defender to the 23-yard line for 8 yards, and that will be the final play of the opening quarter.
Something tells me that handoff wasn't exactly the way it was planned.
A little awkward
for
there.
The quarterback to turn all the way around and pass it behind his back almost.
Well, if broken plays yield 8 yards, then you'll take them.
Yes, we will.
12 minutes in the books from Ranger Stadium. Smithson Valley seeking out the 27-6A title, but with work to do, trailing 7-0. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
This is the story of 9 hopeful bakers and 3 wise judges.
This is a holiday baking beauty.
We have been blessed with a holiday miracle. I nailed it.
Who will become the holiday baking champion?
All new Holiday Baking Championship, Monday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 563. GVTC, just plain smart.
What's the plan?
What I'm asking you to do is dangerous. It's really in your head.
I need roads gone.
I can't be seen with you.
Showtime, folks. Keep them coming.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. Smithson Valley down 7-0 as we start the 2nd quarter of play. Again, not much on the line tonight for the Braunfels. One small feat, though, is we mentioned this is year 4 for Coach Glenn Mangold. In every of his previous 3 seasons, they have improved their win total. Had a chance to do that again with a win tonight. They won 6 games a year ago. As Levi Williams on 2nd down and 2 calls his own number, good enough for a 1st down to the 20-yard line.
A design quarterback run there. Kind of a good-looking run by Levi, too. Caught it, faked the handoff, and went straight ahead over the right side. 1st down yardage is always good.
You know, I'm not sure if all the way back in the week 1 opener against Hendrickson, if we could have predicted that Levi Williams would be the team's leading rusher. Yet, here we are in week 10 saying that. And first down, it is a play fake by Williams at a throw and a catch inside the 10. There's Mason Pierce making an appearance at a first down.
What a great route he ran. What a dart of a throw Levi Williams made. What was really most amazing is that Pierce was able to hang on to it before he went out of bounds. A great completion.
Again, what a night for Mason Pierce at Judson last week. 4 catches, a $169, and 2 touchdowns. And now goal to go from the 9-yard line after that last catch. For Williams in the offense, it is a run for Aiken up the middle and rams into the pile. And down to the 5-yard line from there, 2nd and goal.
Dorzel Hunter was one of the blockers that went into the line ahead of Nick. He got shaken up just a little bit. I'm telling you what, this is, we've played some pretty good football teams this year.
Yeah.
This team seems to be hitting, New Braunfels seems to be hitting as hard as any team I've seen so far.
And now the Rangers shifting personnel here on 2nd and goal from the 5. See Diego Cervantes, the backfield here, coming in motion. And now motion from Pierce, takes a handoff, a block from Cervantes, turns a corner, looking for the pylon. They're going to mark it out of bounds at around the 1, but a piddly marker down. This might come back a few yards.
Good looking play. Pierce just ran out of real estate to get around the corner. Ended up knocking the pylon down, but probably not going to do much good right now, as it looks like they'll mark this one back.
Remember, this drive had a chance of beginning at around the Unicorn 19 on a great return by Aiken, taken back due to a holding penalty. And now, after this hold, it is 2nd and goal for the 15-yard line.
Not the kind of play calling situation that you'd like to be in, but it does give you a little more room to throw the ball.
No Pierce in the lineup right now, although Woodard does check back in at receiver. 2nd and goal for the 15. Here's a blitz from New Braunfels. Williams stepping up, throws end zone, overshot Gilliam. He was also a bit late turning for the football there. And now 3rd and goal, and your options are limited.
That might just be experience between the receiver and the quarterback there. I think Levi threw it expecting Gilliam to go this way, and Gilliam was running a route that was, maybe 2-3 yards different than what Levi expected.
New Braunfels looking pretty impressive so far. Again, their 2nd drive, they took it about 80-plus yards. Big play on the drive, the 72-yard run by Redding, setting up a short touchdown run by Thomas. And the defense holding strong right now. 3rd and goal for the 15 for Williams and the Rangers. And Williams will throw. Going end zone, overshot Gilliam again, running the post. Defended out there by Luke Simpson. And now the Rangers send out the field goal unit.
That time I think Levi had him. He just overthrew him, a little bit too tall.
So last week there was no Mason Reed available. It did affect play calling on the Rangers' final regulation possession, if you recall. With no Reed out there, instead of kicking a potential game-winning field goal from about 40 yards out, they went for it on 4th down and didn't get it. This a 32-yard attempt to put the Rangers on the board. Good snap, hold down, kick up by Reed. And it is still nothing on the scoreboard for the Rangers. Kick is no good. And New Braunfels' defense again holds.
They have been, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, the hardest hitting defense we've seen in a while. Every tackle seems to be a hard hit.
And you think about that scoreboard over to our left right now. The 7 for New Braunfels. It is tough to hold this team down to 7, 10, 14 points. The Rangers offense is going to have to score, 24 plus in this game to win it. And already 1 quarter gone by. And now New Braunfels on offense for the 3rd time tonight from their own 20. And Redding will keep it himself. He is so dangerous on the run. But that time the Rangers bottle him up after only a 2-yard pickup. Second and 8 to go from the 22-yard line.
What's really interesting is their offensive line gets a little bit of a surge. Our defensive line starting to push back a little bit, helping the linebackers out. That time I think there were a lot of different Rangers in on the tackle because the defensive line held its own.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. And Braunfels looking for the upset on top, 7-0. As Redding operates out of the shotgun, his comfort zone, and he will throw. Here's the blitz. Hit as he throws. Passes incomplete. Don't see many balls thrown to receivers covered by Javon Merrick Woodard. Redding takes that chance. Incomplete though to Schriever, now 3rd and 8.
Didn't know if the ball was a little bit short. Schriever really didn't have much of a chance to catch it. Woodard hit him pretty quick, but I think the ball was already out when he made contact.
And Woodard still doesn't look quite right now. Bending over a bit. Appears to be laboring just a little bit right now for Smithson Valley. As now it's 3rd and 7 for the Braunfels. And Redding will head it off on the sweep to the outside. Not going to do it. A tackle for loss all the way back at the 15-yard line. Great Ranger defensive pursuit there, and it brings up 4th down.
It was really interesting. They had trips out to this side, 3 receivers, and all 3 defensive backs spotted it quickly and ran in. Chubb was there second to get to the sweep, and that was really an ill-conceived play.
And a good bounce back there by the Rangers defense after giving up the touchdown drive the possession prior, forcing a 3-and-out. And now Woodard back to return the punt here from Lavender. Good snap, and the punt may have been tipped by Witcher. And picked up by New Braunfels far too soon, by the way, by Yaws. That ball would have rolled another 10, 15 yards easily. Instead, 1st and 10, Rangers coming up at the 34-yard line.
Interesting. That's a little bit of a shock that one of the guys covering the punt would do that. But yeah, it did look like someone got a hand on it because it came out kind of funky. And good field position for the Rangers.
And how about Trey Witcher coming in to get that block on the punt? And now the Rangers come out at offense. Last possession ending in a missed field goal from 32 yards away. Williams back to throw. Going deep over the middle for Woodard. Makes a catch. Goes right by the defender into the end zone for an easy walk-in touchdown.
Well, that was just bad coverage on that play. The defender goes for the ball on the wrong shoulder as Woodard brings it down and spins off his right shoulder. The defensive back is on his left side and had no chance.
Boy, that's now back-to-back touchdowns for Woodard. Seeing single coverage, running a post, and the defender just having no chance. And now read out to tie the game following the touchdown by Woodard. And for him, his 8th this year. Kick is good, and we're tied 7 apiece. 8:57 to go, second quarter. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th Annual Dickens on Main celebration, Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
We help mutants in danger. You're with us now.
If you missed an episode of The Gifted, watch anytime. It's the show critics are calling chills-inducing. Promises to be one of the best Marvel TV series.
These people need help.
The Gifted is all new Monday on Fox, or watch anytime on demand or Fox Now.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. Final game, regular season. Good one so far. We're tied at 7. Moments ago, Levi Williams to Trevon Merrick Woodard, and what a combination that's been this year.
I'm telling you, about a minute and 11 seconds ago of football time, we were sitting here wondering what the Rangers were going to be able to do, because you're not going to be able to hold the Unicorns down.
Right.
And just like that, a partially blocked punt, good field position, one successful pass play, and all of a sudden we're tied.
And Reed's kickoff fielded about a yard deep, and a wise decision there by the Braunfels returner back deep, Joey Thomas. to take a knee. And New Braunfels' offense, which has been up and down in this game. Their second drive of the game, again, length of the field. Got a touchdown from Piali Thomas, set up by a 72-yard run by Redding. Last drive, though, 3 and out as the offense comes out trying to respond to the Rangers scoring drive.
Play calling is so important. We've seen that in football through all the years we've watched, and sometimes you call plays that seem to be the most successful ones you've ever run, and they don't work, and you get a 3 and out on 3 great plays that just didn't work this time.
Redding, the last 4 games, has been off target throwing the football. Completion percentage south of 50 at 46%. A run here for Thomas, hit by Eggleston. And dragged down by Chubb at around the 34-yard line. Good first down play there from the Braunfels. They'll mark it back at the 32 for 7 yards, 2nd and 3.
It's interesting. Most of the guys that were rushing in, getting in the backfield that time was Zoig and was Zuber. So the defensive line didn't get much pressure and weren't really around the tackle on the initial point.
2nd and 3 for Redding. And he will keep it himself up the left side, and Witcher from behind able to drag him down. Also see Gibbons on the play there for the Rangers. That's going to set up 3rd down, 2 to go.
Great defensive stop that time as we really got off blocks quick to make the stop. Now a 3rd and 2, Brant, that I think really at this point in the game, if the defense gets a stop here, it changes the whole complexion.
New Braunfels had all the momentum following a missed field goal by Mason Reed early in the quarter. Since then, the Rangers have bounced back. 3rd down, 2 to go. Redding hands off to Thomas. That's not going to do it. Stuffed short of the yard of gain. Smithson Valley's front 7 looking very impressive there. Keeler in on the tackle. And New Braunfels will punt the football for the 2nd time tonight.
And again, linebackers Zoig and Gibbons very active on the play along with the defensive line, stopping that running attack at the point.
The last punt by Lavender was tipped by Witcher. And Woodard again, so dangerous, awaits back at his own 33. Here is a snap. And not much of a rush that time. Woodard will let it go, and a unicorn roll inside the 25 out of bounds at the 21-yard line. 45-yard punt. No return. 7:03 to go until halftime. Knotted at 7 apiece.
A lot of people see that and say, well, why Woodard goes up and catches it, he saves about 10 yards. I think he's learned in his years of returning punts for the Unicorns that the best thing he can do right now is not put himself in a precarious position, and that would have been tough to try to field that one on a dead run and try to turn upfield.
Again, Smithson Valley's best scoring quarter this season has been the second, with their touchdown earlier in this quarter. Now 123 points scored in second quarters this season. From their own 21, here's motion from Pierce. Fake the give to him. The quarterback Williams will keep it himself and churn out about 3 yards to the 24-yard line. 2nd down, 7 to go.
Their defensive front 7 really playing well tonight as well. Their linebackers, we've talked about Bevel and Pierce. And they've got a lot of guys, Marsh and Cadena and Thomas up on the line that seem to be real active right now and starting to make some plays.
New Braunfels in non-district play looked really good. They went 3-0, putting up 44, 69, and 54 in wins over Alamo Heights, Seguin, and St. Marcus. But since then, 27 6A's happened. They've gone 3-3 so far in district. On 2nd and 7, Williams off the pump fake, flushed out and throws the ball wisely away. Lives to play another play. 3rd down and 7 now coming up.
We talked about their offense in those games, but in those games they gave up 19, 42, and 42. And I think that, as much as anything, has been part of their problem. While their offense has been potent most of the time, they haven't been able to stop people who have the ability to score.
The funny thing is, though, Tony, that was a bigger narrative in the early part of the year. Recently, New Braunfels' defense has actually been pretty good. Over the past 5 games, only giving up about 15 points per game, but the offense has gone quiet at the wrong time. 3rd and 7. Williams taking a shot deep. And he's got right the ball to catch. No, they're going to say out of bounds. right at the Rangers sideline in front of Coach Hill. Ruled incomplete, but what a great effort there by the 6'2 sophomore wideout, Draylon Radeball.
That was a great catch. I thought he got a foot down, but again, between the players and the tubas, we couldn't see the edge of the field.
Right.
And, great job of bringing it in.
Here's a punt from Anderson. And takes a sideways bounce out of bounds at around the New Braunfels 42-yard line. Only a 34-yard punt. 5:57 to go until halftime, tied 7 apiece.
34-yard punt, no return. Still a positive on that scenario. You would like it to be longer, but no return helps a lot.
Again, the 4 playoff teams are set in 27-6A. Smithson Valley, Judson, Steele, and Clemens. And we know 2 of the playoff matchups already after the results from last night. 2 wild games in this playoff picture. On first down for the 43, Reading will hand it off to Thomas. And reading that beautifully was Keeler, tackled. Also there was Zoig, holding New Braunfels to a gain of 2 yards, second down, 8 to go. So in Division 1, Steele will play Brennan. And the other D1 matchup, Smithson Valley will play either Jay or Brandeis here next week. In D2, the matchup, Clemens against O'Connor in one game, and the other, Judson against either Taft or Warren. So potentially down the road, in the region finals, maybe could see Smithson Valley and Steele for the second time.
Judson still looks to me to be one of the most impressive teams we've seen this year.
I agree. Second and 8. Reading keeps it himself, and the Rangers again defensively on target there. Witcher on the tackle there for Smithson Valley along with Flores. Third down, 8 to go.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Reading that time seemed to hesitate before he took off. In all the scenario of whatever was happening around him, instead of taking the snap, making a fake and going, he kind of hung out for a while, and the defenders got to him way too quickly before he could get to the hole.
And now Reading faced with 3rd and 8 in a new zone, 45, under 5 minutes to go. Second quarter still tied, 7 apiece. And Reading will throw, facing a 4-man rush. Here comes the pressure, and Reading evades it. A flag flies in from behind. This might be a hold against New Braunfels. For the time being, a first down, but that's going to come back.
And that's a tough one because where that flag is, he was through that hole. One of the offensive linemen is beating himself up over the play, but we don't know who made the call, but we do know that Brock Pittman, our referee, was pretty emphatic about throwing that flag and bringing that one back.
And again, one team in this district not going to the postseason despite finishing with a winning record. These New Braunfels Unicorns and their playoff win drought will continue. They have not won a postseason game since 2011. 3rd and 16 now following the penalty. And Reading will throw. The protection holding up strong. Pass to incomplete. Mason Pierce, blanket coverage against Tanner Steele downfield. And the Braunfels again will punt it.
You mentioned their playoff drought. This is a program, though, that in the previous decade had a couple of nice appearances in the state playoffs all the way to the state semifinals, if I remember right.
Back in 07 and again in 2009, and of course back in the 90s. A great program led by Jim Streety. And a quarterback by the name of Cliff Kingsbury, now the head coach at Texas Tech. And here is the punt. And that ball sails out of bounds. A really short punt there by Lavender. They'll mark it out at the Ranger 46-yard line. That's a 17-yard punt there for Lavender.
Here's the funny thing about it. Our sideline judge on this side was looking back to the referee to give him the mark, and our referee took off running. So I'm not sure the 46 is right, but nobody's going to get anything better right now because no one gave this side judge any help.
That's got to be a tough job, judging when that ball goes out of bounds. When it's that far out of bounds.
Unless you're running underneath it, you have no idea.
And even 4 minutes to go until halftime, still tied 7 apiece. And here is Williams, the quarterback, on the pump fake. He will run it into those two inside linebackers, squeezing him down, Bevel and Pierce. Although Williams, a good first down run. Gain of 6 yards to the New Braunfels 48, second down, 4 to go.
And Levi did a great job there of not absorbing all of the hit to the ground, and did a nice job with both of them pursuing him that time to get the ball a good 6 yards and not take a big hit.
Levi Williams has been impressive in his first year as a Ranger starter. Huge shoes to fill for the departing Josh Atkins. Here is a run sweep for Trevon Merrick Woodard. And he's out of bounds. TMW at around the 40-yard line, but a penalty marker down. And this one might come back due to another hold in this game.
This would be one of the lead blockers on the play, which could be the receiver out on that end.
One of the favorite calls tonight by our officiating crew has been the hold. Body language saying this one is coming back. It's not a hold, but a chop block against Smithson Valley. And so the Rangers go from a first down with the football now being marked all the way back behind their own 40-yard line.
And obviously, since the first down was gained, but it doesn't count because the penalty came before the first down. Chop block, easily defined, is when you're engaging with a blocker and one of your teammates hits that defender below the waist. You can't do that.
Woodard still in the game at receiver here on second down and 16. And they'll throw it his way on the screen. He falls down awkwardly. But he just slipped, mad at himself for doing that. And now third down at about 18 to go.
Everyone saw the play coming. Woodard just tried to get going before his feet were planted, and the turf ate him up.
Career winding down for Trevon Merrick Woodard. How far can he take it? Depends how far the Rangers go in the postseason. Third down, 18 now. The Rangers have to reach the Unicorn 44. Williams to throw it, going deep for Woodard. Well covered, and the ball batted away by Thomas. That was just tremendous step-for-step coverage there by Joey Thomas, New Braunfels' senior cornerback.
It was. I think Levi just decided I'm going to air this one out and see if we can get a big play right before halftime. Woodard did a nice job of really keeping it away from being an interception. Now we'll have to punt.
That's now 9 pass breakups on the year for Thomas. Good build, 6'1", 178. Might have a college football future as well. Anderson's been busy, the Ranger punter tonight. Here's a big rush from New Braunfels, got the punt away. And that ball takes a Ranger roll inside the 20. One of the better punts of the year for Brant Anderson. Out of bounds at around the 17-yard line. The 45-yard punt, beg your pardon. With no return, 2:27 to go until halftime. Still tied, 7-all.
And with 2:27 to go, you've got to expect the Unicorn offense to try to get something. Be nice for the defense to come up with another turnover.
I would think the Braunfels will keep this drive run heavy, knowing that the second half will open with Smithson Valley getting the football. Knowing the Rangers going 2 for 1. On first down from their own 18. Redding will throw it. Here's a pressure, steps up. He will run now, and he's dangerous in the open field. Sliced down short of the 40-yard line. On the tackle there was Zuber at around the 38. That's a pickup of about 20 yards into New Braunfels' first down.
Once Redding broke the line of scrimmage, there's no one on this team you'd expect more than to be chasing him down than Jacob Zuber. And he caught him after a lengthy gain, but he did catch him.
With the moment the play breaks down for Redding, he just makes one himself. He's so good. Again in the open field. And New Braunfels, with 2 minutes to go on the clock, 3 timeouts remaining, not in a big hurry right now, as Smithson Valley calls for a timeout. Or no, New Braunfels did. That is their first. They have 2 remaining.
Excuse me, go ahead.
I was going to say, you think about the big plays in this game. New Braunfels, of course, got theirs on a 72-yard run by Redding, setting up New Braunfels' touchdown, a 3-yard run by Piale Thomas. The Rangers got their score on a 34-yard strike, Williams to Trevon Merrick Woodard. The big play has been a big story for New Braunfels this season. The Unicorns have scored 4 non-offensive touchdowns this year, and 23 of their offensive scores have come from 20 yards or further out. But they're giving up the big plays as well. 16 touchdowns given up 20 yards or longer. 7 of those have covered over 60 yards. So this game, relatively low scoring for New Braunfels' Unicorn football game.
Their defense is, as you mentioned, got them back into some games late in the year, but their offense hasn't produced as much.
On first down from the 38, it is a run for Thomas, flips it back to Steele. He's got some blockers to the outside. And finally cut down by Woodard and Chubb. Down to the Rangers 46. Great play design there by the Unicorns.
Nothing like it that we've seen tonight. But we have seen Thomas running the ball a lot. Good time for a reverse that gets them into plus territory.
With 2 run plays, and bam, New Braunfels right there into Ranger territory. Clock ticking, 90 seconds to go. Tied at 7. Here's a run for Redding up the middle. Squeezed down to the 40-yard line for 6. Clock will continue to tick. And now stop on a timeout called by who? By New Braunfels, their second, minute 19 to go. And again, threatening at the Ranger 40-yard line. Look at the first half rushing totals for New Braunfels. Already 164 yards in this game. $132 for the quarterback, Redding.
I was going to say a 72-yard run sure helps, but he has 11 carries for 50 yards, which aren't, that's nothing to cough at either.
And the Rangers' rush defense has been pretty solid so far this season.
Well, it's been really good.
They were tested pretty heavily last week against Judson, especially in the fourth quarter when the Rockets abandoned the passing game and went solely with the Wildcat.
And arguably one of the better offensive lines in high school football in the state. They should be able to run the ball, and the Rangers put up a wall for a long part of that game until the end.
Made just enough plays to win it, including that huge 4th and 1 stand inside the 5-yard line. On second down and 4, a pass is short hopped for a wide open receiver, Caleb Gonzalez. He ran a good route, but Redding not a good ball thrown. And now 3rd down and 4.
Brett, you had 5 receivers out on that play, 3 on the left-hand side, so much that Zoig had to go out and cover one of the receivers. And you throw it to the short side of the field to a receiver we don't know very well because he hasn't played very much, covered by a defensive back who's played all season long. I don't see that at all. I don't understand that.
3rd and 4. Again, could be 4-down territory here for New Braunfels, and Redding on the run. Cut it to the outside. Instead, he's cut down. Zuber there on the tackle along with Gibbons and Keeler. 4th down and 4. Minute to go in the half. Let's see what Coach Mangold decides to do.
He's got trips left that time with an uncovered receiver in the middle.
Right.
They both went out and blocked, both the 2 outside guys. The middle guy's uncovered. Throw him the ball and let him run for 5 yards.
Sometimes players are determined to run the play itself and not read the defense. 4th down, 3 to go. New Braunfels going for it. Redding to throw. Flushed out. Throws on the run. Incomplete. Pierce the coverage. The receiver, Mitchell Black, had a chance to haul it in, but he dropped it. And the Rangers take over at their own 38. 35 seconds to go. Still tied at 7.
I'm not so sure that Mr. Pierce didn't get a finger on that or something, because
maybe
he had a hand up, and the way he reacted, I thought he probably deflected it enough that made it a really tough catch. In any event, the Unicorn defense, or the Unicorn offense, falls to the Rangers defense, which ended up making the bigger play.
And now good field position and enough time for the Rangers to do something here before halftime.
3 timeouts left.
From the 39, Williams to throw. Scrambles out to his right on the run. He will keep running. And what a run it is. Although he does stay in bounds, just shy of midfield of the 47. And that means Coach Hill will spin his first timeout. 27 seconds to go. And the Rangers with 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Football protocol tells you the quarterback to run out of bounds there.
Yes.
Because you want to save the clock and save your timeouts. Under 30 seconds to go, he knew they were going to have to use a timeout. Why not make this a 2nd and 2 versus a 2nd and 7? Not a bad play by Levi Williams to scramble ahead in a 2 or 3 second moment and get an extra 5 yards.
Oh, I like the play there by Williams. If you're in a situation where your timeouts are less than 3, even just 2, you probably have to get out of bounds there. But again, afforded the chance with those 3 timeouts in the holster to make that play.
Somebody's going to have to make a big catch here. Levi's going to have to make a throw, and somebody's going to have to make a catch down the field to have any chance to get it into the end zone. And I know that's their goal. It would be nice to get any points, but getting into the end zone would make a big statement, especially as we mentioned, they get the ball to start the second half.
If you think about field goal range for Mason Reed, his career long is 40. That would mean reaching the 23-yard line. On 2nd and 2, Williams, pump fake, spins to his left. Downfield strike is incomplete, nearly intercepted. A flag, a late flag comes in. And by the way, it was Marcus Riley, the defender, that almost got the pick from the Braunfels.
That play was thrown closer to Riley than it was to Woodard.
As again, the flag thrown back at the 46. The timing of the flag leads me to believe this might be in the personal foul category here.
Wow.
And the Rangers are marching forward. This will come against the Braunfels. Didn't see an official signal the penalty, but it is 15 yards, Ranger first down.
Well, the referee must have signaled it way early because he went and picked up his flag, and that's when I thought he was going to give us a signal, and still nothing.
Boy, that is killer from the Braunfels.
Oh, without a doubt.
And now from the Unicorn 38, Williams back to throw again. Going over the right side, tipped it incomplete. Bevel dropping back into zone coverage to get a hand on it. And now 2nd and 10.
Again, I'm been able tonight to see receivers a lot. Hunter was open about 3 seconds before Levi threw the ball. Levi's either, and it's hard to imagine because we're not out there close and we don't hear coaches talking. Levi waited too long to throw that pass. Hunter made a nice look in about 10 yards down the field, was wide open for a pass. By the time he threw it, 3 defenders surrounded him.
17 seconds left. Tied at 7 in the second quarter. Williams on the keeper this time, and he has stood up at the 35. That didn't gain much. And the Rangers spend their second timeout, 11 seconds to go. And at the New Braunfels 35-yard line, there's not a lot the Rangers can do right now.
Best hope now is either get a play to the end zone or a play that's at least 15 yards down the field so you can kick a field goal with the one timeout you have left.
Yes, they can use the middle of the field on this play.
But you got to get a first down on this play because I don't think you're going to kick a 50-yard field goal.
No. And again, for that target area for Reed, the Rangers would need at least 12 more yards. Again, next week, Smithson Valley right back here at Ranger Stadium. Second year in a row, by the way, that Smithson Valley will have opened the postseason at home. Last year, a win over Warren punched their second-round ticket. This year, they will host either Jay or Brandeis. The Jay Mustangs or the Brandeis Broncos next week. 3rd down, 7 to go out of the timeout. At the New Braunfels 35. Here's a blitz. Williams going deep for Woodard, but got twisted around. Couldn't get to the football. That ball sailing incomplete in the end zone, and now 7 seconds to go. And Tony, we've mentioned that this is too far for a field goal. So a Hail Mary shot, you have a 6'2 receiver, Woodard, throw it his way, hope he can make a play.
Well, we've seen him throw to Woodard so many passes in a row here on those scenarios, not continuous passes, but every time we've thrown long, it has been to Woodard. I thought Pierce looked open on a skinny post on the right side, We'll have to see. You get a first down here in less than 7 seconds, you could kick a field goal.
It's possible. Williams, though, going deep towards the end zone. Pass incomplete for Pierce. With 1 second to go. So this will be a turnover on downs. Football back to New Braunfels with 1 play left, barring a penalty in this half. What a weird first half.
It is, and you know, we've seen Levi be real sharp, and some games not. I don't know if he's sharp or not right now. We've had so many passes that just haven't been close to the receiver when they've gone to the point, and that was great coverage. The cornerback just rode Pierce right out of bounds once the ball came close, but there's not been many connections right now between the quarterback and the receivers.
A kneel down formation here for New Braunfels. Redding will take the snap and the knee, and 24 minutes in the books in the final game of the regular season. And the 27-6A title still far from being decided. Your score after 1 half of play: Smithson Valley 7, New Braunfels 7. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Summerhill Dental is your partner in getting a better night's sleep tonight. Our appliances are a proven solution to stop snoring and sleep apnea. No CPAP, no surgery, not so scary.
The proudest tradition, the pulse of the Texas Hill Country, the Smithson Valley High School Ranger Marching Band. The Ranger Band is under the field leadership of drum majors Dave Gibson, Josh Martinez, Eric Snowden, and Dan Summer. The 2017 Color Guard officers are co-captains Megan Marker, Charlie Gothard, and Trinity Collins. And now the Silver Spurs, Silverados, and their dance partners, along with feature performer Sophie Gilbert. The Silver Spurs are being led onto the field tonight by Junior Lieutenant Kenna Bonnie, Kathleen Bratton, Ashley Brown, Senior Lieutenant Stephen Garcia, and Mallory Rojo, First Lieutenant Sophia Cruz, and Colonel Kenny Chamorro. Silverados are being led onto the field tonight by Lieutenant Sage Dutton, Kendall Egley, and Faith Falcon, and Captain Lorna Luciano. The Silver Spurs and Silverados are under the direction of Director Ashley Rochelle and Assistant Director Candace Speaker. The Spirit Dancers of the week are Allison Haynes, with her brother Grant Haynes, and Emma Zions, with her mother Mrs. Sanchez. The dancers of the week are Issa Wells and her dad, Mr. Wells, and A.J. Gonzalez with her dance partner, Karen Coyne. And this evening, the Silver Spurs will be performing a routine to We Go Together. 2017-2018 Silver Spurs Social Board officers are President Allison Haynes and Caitlin Seneley. Social officers Ainsley McClellan, Alexa Miller, and Cindy Rosted, and Chaplain Maddie Ford. Tonight, the Ranger Band will be performing a portion of their 2017 UIL show entitled Revolution. The show will feature music from Chester and the Broadway musical Les Mis.
This is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelek, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sendejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in the soccer.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get him on the run, we're gonna keep him on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is the team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, man?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for game night scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. Still tied 7 apiece as we get ready to start the second half. On the Rangers Network, Grant Freeman with Tony Brubaker. And Tony, that first half, the Braunfels got off to a pretty good start, both offensively and defensively. The Rangers got their answer early second quarter, but after that, all defense both ways.
Well, neither team has amassed a whole lot of offense. I think the Unicorns have about 190 yards of offense, the Rangers 110 yards. The difference has been really their average per play is about 5.5 yards, and the Rangers' average per play is 3.5 yards. Neither team has generated a whole lot of offense. This has been a defensive battle, but it's also been a strange football game because certain things you expect to happen haven't happened. Levi Williams has not been sharp throwing the ball, 5 of 15 early, and their ability to run the ball as their quarterback Redding has been something we haven't seen any quarterback do at length this season.
We should note, though, that Smithson Valley will get the football to start the third quarter. The Rangers had a shot at points towards the end of the second quarter, but could not quite finish off a drive, ending in a turnover on downs at around the Braunfels 35-yard line. Smithson Valley will stack their 2 returners back deep, 2 different sizes of them. Nick Aiken at 5'9", 160, and hiding behind him, I use that term loosely, is Trevon Woodard. Woodard at 6'2", 195. Gives way to Aiken on the return from the 25, and good New Braunfels pursuits as Aiken, who had a good return early in the game, called back due to a hold, is taken down to the 31-yard line. So the Rangers, after putting up 40 against Judson last week, held to 7 points in the first half against a Unicorn defense which is giving up more than 25 points per game this season. But again, as Tony and I talked about earlier, they've been playing better defense as of late. And on first down, Williams operates from his own 31. And calls for motion from Adolfo Hunter, the tight end. And they will throw a screen to Pierce, a block from Hunter, and almost broke a tackle for a long way. Instead, dragged out of the 43-yard line for a first down.
Nice job on the setup there as Pierce made a nice catch and a nice read off of Hunter's block. A good gain on first down. It'd be nice to see the Rangers put something together here early in the second half, get some momentum going forward.
Just the second catch tonight for Mason Pierce. Levi Williams only 6 of 16 passing this evening after a great game last week on first down. Pass here is caught by Woodard. A block from Gilliam to the outside, and Woodard's got another first down to the Braunfels 41.
So 2 identical plays on the first 2 plays of the second half, each to either side of the field, and a couple of first downs for the Rangers.
And that one good for 15 yards. Rangers off to a good start here in the third quarter. They've been a good third quarter team this season. Now outscoring their opponents by 62 points. These middle quarters have been when the Rangers have put games away. From the 41, a flip to Aiken, who gets a block from Cervantes, another block from Woodard, out of bounds near the 30-yard line, and a flag in. And they're going to get Cervantes, I think, in a block of the back here. For the time being, a first down. But this one's going to come back.
A little bit of a powwow with our officials as, again, our referee makes the call.
Brock Pittman, our head official here tonight.
They're going to wave it off.
They will.
Yeah.
So the run stands there for Aiken. Again, live. I know we're a little biased here. Thought it was a good block by Cervantes.
8 yards on the play.
The Rangers march forward.
Balls at the 33.
It was not a first down, though, as they do mark it at the Unicorn 33. Good for 8 yards. Second down and 2. And that's where the Rangers go to work. There's a handoff to Aiken. Skirts outside. Turns a corner. And may have been a block away from busting that one for a touchdown. Instead, settles for a first down at the Unicorn 23-yard line.
Another great play fake by Levi Williams, who carried out the fake well after he handed the ball out. Good job of Nick to bounce that one outside, too, because that's where all the space was.
The Rangers have run the football effectively tonight as a team, approaching 100 yards on the night. And also approaching the red zone right now at the Unicorn 23. There's motion from Pierce. And a passing play for Williams. On the run, throws a laser right to Pierce. Out of bounds at the 10. First and goal, Smithson Valley.
Pierce, the man in motion, just took it up the field and did an out route with Williams moving to his left. Another strike by Levi Williams that we haven't seen enough of tonight.
But a penalty marker back the line of scrimmage. This one might come back. And yes, a 5-yard flag brings it back to the 29.
Again, though, we didn't see the signal. Did you see a signal?
Really quick, man. Brock Pittman doesn't waste any time getting that call out.
5-yard penalty. Strange situation.
Maybe illegal shift as Pierce was coming in motion.
Turned up the field too quickly?
I think so. And now Coach Hill, with the play clock winding down, burns his first second half timeout.
Big drive. We talked about this at the start of the drive. Really would be great to get a touchdown on the board and put some pressure on their offense versus pressure being on your defense.
Again, the Rangers coming in 8-1 on the year. 5-1 in 27-6A play with the win. They are the outright 27-6A champs. And you think about just how tough this district has been over the previous 3 years. I know realignments every 2 years, but the district is essentially the same. The only change 2 years ago was the addition of East Central. A district with Judson, Steele, Clemens, these Unicorns. Winning this district is not an easy task. And the Rangers, if they can pull this one out, they can say they accomplished something pretty special.
I think there's without a doubt. District championships are never easy no matter what district you're in. But when you're in a tough one, to come out victorious is a really big deal.
And we saw a wonderfully played game yesterday for the 28-6A title. O'Connor and Brandeis came down to overtime. 44-41, O'Connor win. O'Connor and Brennan, beg your pardon, not Brandeis. First and 15 out of the timeout. Williams will throw off the play fake to Woodard. Going to break a tackle, and it takes 3 Unicorns to make it 4 to bring him down to the 20-yard line. The Rangers pick up 8, and now second down and about 7 to go.
Knowing you had 2 or 3 plays to get a first down, that's a good chunk on first down, and that's a good offensive situation moving the chains.
Boy, Woodard is such a tough player to bring down. First contact almost never does the job. Second down, 7 to go from the Braunfels 20. Here's the blitz. Aiken runs right into it and tripped down. The blitzing player coming in, Colson Clark. Had him dead to rights, and now the Rangers face with third down at about 14.
So just as you get near to being in a good position on the change, you're back behind third and long. Curious if this is 4-down territory, knowing field goal puts you up by 3, but a touchdown would really make a big deal for you.
I think it depends on what happens on third down. Yeah. Again, the range for Reed is 40 yards out. That would require 4 more yards from this spot. 3rd and 14. The Braunfels bringing a 4-man rush this time. Williams pressured, steps up, and sacks by Farley Bevel. 3rd sack this year. All the way back to the 32 to bring up 4th down and long to go. The Rangers will send out the punting unit. So a promising drive after a killer penalty. The Rangers will punt the football back to the Unicorns. Again, remember, Mason Pierce had to catch the 10-yard line called back due to a flag. Anderson trying to hand the Unicorns inside the 20-yard line. And that ball will take a Ranger roll. Sent out of bounds by Chubb. And Anderson does pin the Unicorns back deep.
That is the, 3rd, 4th, really good punt by Anderson tonight. This one, ideal that he got the ball to land softly, and Chubb was there quickly to usher it out of bounds. And the Unicorns have a long way to go if they're going to do anything good on this drive.
They've got 97 yards of real estate in front of them. 4 minutes gone by, 3rd quarter, still tied at 7 apiece. Our score since about the 10-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. We mentioned high-scoring quarters this year for the Rangers. For the Unicorns, this 3rd quarter has been their best this season. A run on 1st down for Yali Thomas, and he has stood up, stacked up, out around the 4, held to a yard gain. 2nd down and 9. Braunfels has been a great second-half offense this year. They have scored 193 points after halftime, 121 coming in the 3rd quarter alone.
And that rivals the biggest corner of the year for Smithson Valley.
Right. 2nd down and 9 from their own 4. And here's Ryan Redding, first 3rd quarter pass on the way. Pressured, flushed out, throws the ball away. And there we saw Trey Richer in pursuit. He's not the biggest E-tackle. In fact, probably one of the smaller ones you'll see. 5'10", 215, but he's been a playmaker all year.
And Alex Flores, one of the players that has kind of been in and out of the lineup with different things, got in there as well. Him of the quarterback pressure from a year ago had a lot of those. This year has been slowed down by a lot of different things, but that time got in there quickly as well.
This would be a huge 3 and out for the Ranger defense. 3rd and 9 from the 4. Passing down for the Braunfels. Low snap, and running is punished. He was lucky just to get the ball out beyond the goal line. And now the Braunfels will be punting from deep in his own end zone.
And that was Alex Flores. A normal defensive end was playing defensive tackle on that play. He was left, interior tackle was left unblocked on the play and ran right into the running back. Somebody missed a block.
It didn't help that Caden Kiesling's snap to his quarterback Redding was poor. And now the punter, Dalen Roche Lavender, with his heels on the back of the end zone, and a high snap. Gets over his hands, and a gift-wrapped 2-point safety for Smithson Valley.
You know, as deep as he was, you kind of thought with any snap that's high, he might step back and get a safety out of it. They made it easy by just snapping it over his head.
So 2 consecutive poor snaps from center has given the Rangers their first lead tonight. On top, 9-7, 6:42 to go here in this 3rd quarter. And now, Tony, talk about game momentum, right? The Braunfels' offense goes 3 now. Special teams gives up a couple of points. The Rangers offensively, if they can piece together a touchdown scoring drive, they're going to make life really difficult in the Braunfels for the remainder of the game.
I think I would agree with you wholeheartedly. I thought the Rangers' first drive was a big one for momentum's sake, and now while they weren't able to score on it, they were able to pin the Unicorns back. The defense made a big play. Special teams got a couple of points out of it. Now, any kind of return on this puts you in good field position for an opportunity to score again. It's been a long time since we've seen a 9-7 game.
It really has been. We saw a 14-9 game that the Rangers won a couple of weeks ago over Canyon.
Everybody up for the kickoff.
And now on the free kick, the Braunfels will elect to kick off the tee from the 20. Aiken and Woodard awaiting back deep. Both very dangerous. And it is Woodard. And here we go from the 32. Woodard has a block, stumbles his way down to the 49. Before Pierce brings him down for the Braunfels. 6:37 to go, third quarter. 9-7. Rangers on top. You go back to the bad snap on the punt. If you recall last week, how close were the Rangers to giving up a safety on a bad snap against Judson?
That is correct.
It was when the Rangers got that fourth down stop. But the silver lining for the Rockets was the Rangers had to go a long way. The ball at the 4-yard line. A bat snap from Alex Schaefer went off the hands of Levi Williams in the end zone right to Nick Aiken. If he's not there, it either would have been a touchdown or a safety for Judson. As Mason Pierce runs it out of the 48 and first down for a 3-yard gain. Second down and 7.
And let's not lose sight of the fact that Woodard just had about a 20-yard return, a little bit less than that. But you're at midfield. It's just the benefits of getting a safety in the scenario,
right,
where again they try kicking it off a tee versus a punt, where sometimes coverage could be better. But the Rangers really set themselves up. This is an opportunity they need to take advantage of.
Mark Franco in the backfield here on second down and 7. Hunter, the tight end, comes in motion. A throw to Pierce, a block from Hunter, and squeezes his way to the 43 before Bevel. Another tackle, by the way. Makes a stop. At the 44, gain of 4 yards, 3rd and 3 coming up for a Ranger offense which has been lacking rhythm so far tonight.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think the real neat thing about what they're trying on some of these receiver screens is having Hunter be in the blocker, which we know to be one of the better receiver blockers on this football team.
6 feet, 195. A great target on 3rd and shorts throughout the year as well. The Braunfels nearly jumped but got back on the right side of the defensive line. Play clock winding down for Williams. He will keep it himself and runs right into the Braunfels defense. That play appeared to be doomed from the start. Coming up, Timothy Croner and Nolan Scribner for the Braunfels, and after the Rangers get a safety in great field position, the offense goes 3 and out.
You know, coaches do self-scouts many times to make sure you don't have too many usual tendencies. Levi Williams running up the middle on 3rd and short is something that I think the Rangers have done a lot of this season, and the Unicorns just sold out on that play.
Anderson's punt, a good one last time out. Fair catch called for and made by Clark at the 9-yard line. And right now, one of the heroes for the Rangers in this game has been Grant Anderson, their punter.
He has, and another punt that, you know, inside the 20, which is the goal of every punter in that kind of territory, and he's done it again, and the Unicorns have a long field ahead of them.
Reading and the Unicorns went 3 and out on their last offensive possession. They scored their second drive of the game, a drive aided by a long run by Reading of 72 yards. From the 09, Reading on the keeper, hanging towards the secondary, and picks up about 9 yards in first down, the 23-yard, or the 17-yard line, beg your pardon, second down and 1.
9 yards on the run, second and 1.
Defense again being called upon to make big plays. This would be a great opportunity for another stop since you haven't been able in 2 different drives to produce any points off of those drives. The defense again being called upon to keep field position in favor of the Rangers.
Neither offense has had an easy go with tonight. They've had a tough time keeping drives alive. Combined on third down, 4 for 20 between these two teams. Here's Redding on second down, and he is slung down. But a first down, the 23-yard line, and a gain of 5.
Kind of interesting. We've seen so many holding calls tonight. That time I think it was Gibbons who was rushing in and turned to spin and go after Redding and had his jersey grabbed, and he was unable to spin away. We've seen so many holding calls, but didn't see one there.
Under 4 minutes remaining, third quarter, tight game, defensive slugfest so far. Rangers on top, 9-7. And now first attempt for the Braunfels at their own 22. Redding against the blitz will throw a completion to Steele. Out across the 30, flag is in. And Steele is not Steele, beg your pardon. Blake feigned the catch, but it's all coming back anyway on the hold against the Braunfels.
I'm not real sure which one of our defensive backs tried to spin and go after that receiver, was just actually tackled by the offensive receiver on that play, and that's why the holding call will bring this one back.
And this is one of the bigger reasons why neither offense has had a chance to establish a rhythm. It seems like every big play they get, that chunk play where maybe you think, all right, here's where the ball gets going. A holding call brings it right back. The Braunfels has not crossed midfield in the second half.
10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
And now the ball marked all the way back to their own 12-yard line. Redding on 1st and 21. Back to throw. Quick route and a catch by Steele off of the races and forced out of bounds by Chubb. That was a dangerous development there for the Rangers. Great job by Chubb to get over and end that play as quickly as possible. They'll mark him out of the 26-yard line and set up second down and 6 to go.
Dangerous is right. If Chubb isn't there, that play could have gone for a long way.
Yeah. Tanner Steele, by the way, has been banged up all year long. He's only played at about 4 games, but looking pretty good so far tonight. On second and 6, a designed run for running into traffic. Breaking a couple of tackles and drop as the flag comes in again. Late flag here as Redding was taken down by Zuber at the 39-yard line.
Not sure if that was holding or just a personal foul for unsportsmanlike conduct.
But body language says this is going to be against the Unicorns as officials huddle over the football and talk things over. Could be a big call in the game. It's against the Braunfels for another hold. It's uncanny. How many holds have there been in this game? 9? I mean, the number's up there.
You hear a lot of people talk about football. There could be holding called on every play, but some of these are such obvious situations.
There have been 7 official penalties, accepted penalties in this game, 72 yards. And I'm going to guess that at least 6 of them have been holds. Clock ticking under 3 minutes to go. Third quarter, 16 combined points so far tonight. Not what we thought coming in. On first down, Redding on the quarterback keeper. Dropped by Richard.
Brian Redding, the ball carrier.
After a small gain, maybe a couple of yards there. Second down, 8 to go.
Gain of 3 on the play.
The Braunfels a 3-0 start of their season, but running into some tough district competition. Losses to the heavyweights. Judson by 42. Steele by 23. Last week to Clemens by 10. And now out of the playoff race.
Weren't we at 2nd and 21 a minute ago before that penalty? How did we get back to first down?
They're saying that the hold occurred after he'd established first down yardage.
Okay.
On 2nd and 7, and Redding will throw the football away. Got to bring up 3rd down and 7. Tony, that was the most diplomatic way I could describe that.
You're absolutely correct. That is the correct call. It just it puzzled me. We were back again 15 yards back further from where we were, and yet it was first down again.
But a big third down coming up here for both teams. For the Rangers, if they get a stop, puts up the offense with good field position. For the Braunfels, a chance to keep the drive alive and keep the Rangers offense on the sidelines. Very tense game so far. On 3rd and 7, ready to throw. Pressured, steps up, and he is hit by Pow Pow. And Pow Pow, he brings him down to the 24-yard line. He's sacked there for the big man, and the Rangers defense gets a stop.
You know, it's funny because you get looking at the receivers down the field. If he had time, he probably would have unleashed it to one of his guys that were beyond midfield and had a chance to make a big play.
Well, think about what this game would be like if a playoff berth was on the line. And again, if Smithson Valley does not beat Judson last week, that's what this game would have been. Woodard on a fair catch at the 44-yard line. Following a short punt by Lavender. Rangers a football and a 2-point lead as we approach the end of the third quarter.
You and I both sit here knowing that if this team doesn't score a touchdown pretty quick, this game's going to be way too close in the fourth quarter.
Yep. And boy, has Smithson Valley played in some down-to-the-wire games this year. The opener, a 4-point win, pulling it out with 8 seconds to go against Hendrickson. Of course, the 6-point loss to Clemens here. About 3 weeks ago, a 5-point win at Canyon, and last week's classic in overtime over Judson. From the 43, Williams hands off to Aiken. Powers up to midfield. Nice 7-yard run on the first play of this possession. Second out and 3 now coming up.
Gain of 7 on the play.
You know, you like the way Nick Aiken runs because he's got those quick feet that are always moving. That time looked a little bit better than we'd seen him run the ball a couple of times earlier in this half. Seemed to have a little more freedom on the start. Looked better running the ball.
Should note that Radeball is checked back in at receiver here on 2nd and 3. It is a run for Aiken, though. How about that run? We talk about the quick feet, Tony. How about the upper body burst here by Aiken for the first down to the Braunfels 45?
Did a nice job running over a defensive back as well.
First down for the Rangers at the 45.
Under 40 seconds remaining, third quarter. It's amazing. The Braunfels coming in offensively, averaging 38 points. The Rangers 36 points. Here we are with 12:30 to go in the game. 9-7 Rangers on top.
Not a pitcher's duel, that's for sure.
No. On 1st and 10, one play for Aiken and stumbled awkwardly a bit. Second time we've seen a Ranger slip tonight. Aiken pops back up, and that the final play of the third quarter. So the Rangers countdown to a district title now down to 12 minutes on top, 9-7, and they again are 12 minutes away for the 27-6A crown, but the Braunfels not going away quietly. Start of the fourth quarter coming up. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th annual Dickens on Main celebration, Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
Welcome back to Ranger Stadium for what has been 3 yards and a cloud of dust kind of football tonight. Rangers on top as we open the fourth quarter, 9-7. And faced with 2nd and 11 from the Braunfels 46 off a play fake. Radeball, the catch.
Wow.
The sophomores got it. Down to the 19-yard line, but another flag thrown. However, it looks like, it's going to come back. A legal receiver downfield for the Rangers, as the New Braunfels defender on the play, Luke Simpson, with his helmet off, and he is yet to get up.
Illegal receiver downfield, kind of a different scenario to see that play on a drop back pass. But That did appear to be the call from Mr. Pittman. And the Rangers lose an opportunity for a big pass play.
And as they look at him, we will step aside. 11:54 to go, fourth quarter. Rangers on top, 9-7. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Just press enter and your GVTC home DVR will record your show automatically.
Thanks, Doug from GVTC, who looks exactly like Ranger Senior CJ Keeler.
I'm just Doug, here to help.
Fumble!
Here you go. Can I help you set up your favorite channel list now?
Back to action, 11:42 to go out of the injury timeout, fourth quarter. Rangers the ball up 9-7, and a running play on second down and 16 following a flag on an illegal receiver downfield against Smithson Valley. And that run doesn't yield a lot. A couple of yards up to the 49-yard line. 3rd and 14 now coming out for Smithson Valley. And again coming out of the timeout, an injury stoppage for Luke Simpson of New Braunfels. Take it back to the sidelines. 3rd and 14. Back to throw Williams. Here's the pressure going over the middle for Radeball. Flag is in on the pass that sailed incomplete. And Radeball, the big target, 6'2", 175, draws a penalty to keep this drive alive.
Pass incomplete. There is a penalty on the play.
It was a definite penalty as the defensive back just ran the receiver off and gave him no chance to catch the ball, so an easy flag on that one.
And in a game featuring so many offensive drive-killing flags, this against the defense to keep this Ranger drive moving. Smithson Valley looking for some separation right now, and a touchdown with an extra point would make it a 2-possession lead. From the Unicorn 34, Williams goes to work, hands off to Franco, gonna bounce it to the outside, and he is denied. How about that defensive pursuit by New Braunfels? Blowing it up there is Clark. Also there, Riley, the safety. 2nd down and 13.
We have seen any player that tries to bounce something out has not had much success. Their outside defense, their safeties and linebackers have not given up much on the edge tonight.
And this is a New Braunfels rush defense, which has given up a ton of yards this year. But playing really well tonight, really all phases. 2nd and 13, play fake, and a screen for Woodard, and a block, breaks a tackle. There he goes, inside the 5 to the end zone for his 2nd touchdown tonight.
That is unbelievable. That play did not look like it was going to be a touchdown, if not for the toughness of Mr. Woodard.
Now 13 receiving touchdowns on the year for Woodard. 2 tonight. And that one gives the Rangers some breathing room, but now a chance to make it a 2-possession lead, and they will send out Mason Reed for a 9-point advantage. An important kick here, and it is good. Smithson Valley on top, 16-7, 10-17 left, fourth quarter. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network. Here we go, tie ball game with just 2 seconds left on the clock, and the Rangers are looking to score. Here's the snap. Bayless, who is wide open down the near sideline. And he makes a catch at the 10, the 5, touchdown. My goodness, what a play, and the Rangers win. And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. 2nd touchdown tonight for Trevon Merrick Woodard from 37 yards away on the screenplay. Rangers on top 16-7. So a 37-yard and 34-yard touchdown tonight for Woodard. Only 2 touchdowns for the Rangers this evening. And here is Reed's kickoff. A line drive. Take it at the 1, out to the 15, And Joey Thomas dragged down at the 20 by Zuber. Zuber, I swear, might have 200 tackles by night's end. On the season coming in 113. And it just seems like any play, he's in on it.
But think about the fact that they get 3 playoff games. He could get to 200.
He could.
He's going to be over 125 tonight, maybe 130.
Well, 37 tackles the previous 2 games coming in. 7 times this year, 10 tackles or more. And that will be 8 by game's end. And you said it, Tony, the Rangers go to 3-4 rounds deep. He'll get there to 200. From their own 20, the Braunfels desperate now, down by 9. And Redding on the play fake, snuffed out. Patrick Elliott, well, he came in so fast, almost looked like he came in unblocked. Now second down and long.
You know, we saw it when Flores stopped their running back on the goal line. Their offensive line is all of a sudden not blocking real well. We do know their starting center, Caden Kiesling, is out, which has really put a crimp in what they've been doing successfully on that line in previous games, so they've got at least one backup on that offensive line and maybe more.
Not sure why you bite at a play fake when you're up by 9 at this stage of the game. From their own 14, and Redding back to throw, pressured, gets out of a sack for a moment, got away from Keeler. Not many quarterbacks can say that, as Redding will cut his losses and toss it away. And now 3rd and 16 coming up for New Braunfels. Again, you go back to the first 2 drives of the game. The Unicorns looked really good offensively. Since then, they have gotten nothing offensively.
And we've seen that in so many games this year. We talked about it when it happened. Early on, people have some success as the Rangers defense just kind of looks and investigates and sees what's happening. Once they realize what's going on, they make the key adjustment or 2 or 3. And this Unicorn offense, which was running recklessly early for lots of yards, hasn't done so much lately.
The Braunfels already battling from being downhill right now, down by 9, and now 3rd and 16. Redding back to throw, slings it deep for Steele, turns, and no, can't make the catch. In fact, nearly picked off by Pierce. Look at the size difference there. Tanner Steele, 6'3", Pierce, 5'10", but you wouldn't know it watching that play.
That is an SEC defensive back right there. There was all kinds of contact. The offensive player almost more than the defensive player. They let them play, and Pierce made the better play on it.
And now Woodard back to return the punt here from Dallin Wilch Lavender. Had a punt early in the game go over his head, out of bounds, or out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Unicorns had too many men on the field. And this will back it up 5 more yards.
Well, number 11 had run out onto the field thinking he belonged there because they were short, and he gets there and his teammates, and let me just promise you, a coach sent him onto the field. His teammate said, no, you don't. And as he leaves the field, obviously you can't do that, and it's a 5-yard mark-off.
That was Hayden Kesterling coming off late. And here is Lavender's punt. Right to Woodard from the 46. Running outside. Has 2 touchdowns already tonight receiving. Reverses field. And it will take 3 Unicorns to bring him down. At a late flag in. And I mean way late. Out around the 38-yard line. Wouldn't think this would be a hold because of the timing of the flag and where it was thrown.
I'd say maybe not a late hit, but just unsportsmanlike, because I think they kind of jumped over him or on him. Now they're going to wave it off.
They will.
There was a player who came in late, but I thought he missed him when he jumped over the top of him, and I think the flag might have been in that scenario, but they waved it off because there wasn't contact.
And the Rangers less than 9 minutes away from the 27-6A crown, on top 16-7 with 8:57 to go.
First and 10 for the Rangers at the 38.
From the Unicorn 38, run play for Franco, fighting his way down to the 34-yard line. Good 4-yard gash there. Second down and 6.
Let's talk about that offensive line again of Clifton, Bauer, Schaefer, Hausler, and Coatney. They've been doing yeoman's work all night tonight. And again, we've run the ball successfully up the middle where you don't expect to see a lot of yards against a defense that's been as active as New Braunfels, but they're starting to make some headway right now with some good blocks.
On 2nd down and 6, run again for Franco. Had a steam down to the 27-yard line. How about back-to-back runs there by Mark Franco?
That's that left guard, John Bauer, 6'1", 230 senior, has pulled twice in a row on a little trap influence and allowed the running back to get through that hole quickly.
Rangers nursing a 9-point lead and approaching the red zone right now. New Braunfels game for about 2.5 quarters, but now the game slipping away. From the 27 on 1st down. And whistles, timeout called for by Coach Hill with 7:50 remaining. Rangers on top 16-7.
Let me just tell you how important that timeout was, because it's the second one Coach Hill has called here in the second half, and still 8 minutes to go. There was some confusion there. Hunter, who went from the backfield to the left tight end, not real sure he wanted to go there, not real sure he was supposed to go there. And whatever the scenario was, I think before the Unicorns got into a bad play on 1st down, he thought he'd talk about it and let's secure this drive and put this game away with a touchdown here.
By the way, if the Rangers can hold on, it would be their 13th district championship under Coach Larry Hill, and this is 25th year and their first since 2013. If you recall, they made the change of classifications, changing 6-man to 1A, 1A to 2A, and so forth. This would be the Rangers' first district title as a 6A football program. Technically,
yes. We know that this bunch of 5A teams used to be that are now 6A teams, but yes, it is their first as a 6A program.
If they can hold on top by 9, under 8 minutes to go in the game. From the 27, run for Franco again, fumbles the football on the ground, and jumping on it for the Rangers, Jesse Clifton. That was a dangerous bounce of the ball. If there's a New Braunfels Unicorn player in space, that could be going the other way instead in 2nd and 12.
Dangerous. Franco hasn't been one to put it on the ground a lot this year, but that one where he must have got a helmet on the ball that he had tucked in nicely, but it squirted out like it was a watermelon just popping up into the air.
Again, the Rangers have been a bit sloppy with the football the previous 3 weeks. 7 turnovers in games against Clemens, Canyon, and Judson. On 2nd and 12. Keeper this time for Franco, stood up by Scribner. Nice body on the defensive line, 6'3", 210. And now with that tackle, forces the Rangers into a 3rd down and 12 situation. Rangers appear to be just outside the cusp of Mason Reed's field goal range from here.
Kind of a scenario, what do you do here? It's 3rd and 12, not really many running plays that can get that for you, but how much do you want to throw the ball and put it into a situation where you could get picked off?
No Woodard on the field here. On 3rd and 12, Rangers have to reach the 17 for a 1st down. Here's a pass to Hunter, incomplete. Running that flag right out towards the 5-yard line. And now 4th down and 12 coming up as we approach the halfway point of the 4th quarter.
What a great route by Dorsal Hunter. He goes out like he's going to block for a wide receiver screen and just slips the screen like you see in basketball. He was out in the open. We just missed him on that one.
And the offense stays on the field. On 4th and 12. Pierce, ready to ball. Are your receivers here? On 4th and 12. Back to throw Williams. Here's a blitz over the middle for Pierce. And there's interference. They'll call it against Andrew Sauceda. And this will keep the Ranger drive alive, but another PI called against the Unicorns.
And it really wasn't necessary. He arrived early and slapped him in the back of the helmet, it looked like to me. And just one of those where a good coverage allows you to knock that ball down. I don't know why that penalty happened.
His positioning was great. Was right there on top of Pierce, but the timing to bat the ball away was off. As a result, the Rangers will continue to drive inside the red zone as they sort out the flag and the yardage. And now you would think the Rangers are 15 yards away from icing this game and taking home the 27-6A crown.
So again, penalty flags doing a lot to determine how good drives are.
Yeah.
This one helps a drive where previous ones have hurt it.
Empty backfield here for the junior quarterback Williams, standing at 6'3". On first down, he will call his own number and charges up to the 9. That's good for 6, staying ahead of the chains and keeping the clock moving as well. 2nd and 4 for the Rangers following that run by Williams.
Be interesting to see if they keep the ball on the ground here, Brant, and can run it in, or if they're going to have to go to the air as we switch some receivers in and out.
Spoke about this all-time series earlier. When it began, it was all New Braunfels. Unicorns won 7 of the first 8, but since then the Rangers have won 8 of the last 9. Only one New Braunfels win over Smithson Valley since 1995, as Williams takes a second down play to about the 7. It's good for 2 more yards. 3rd down and 2 now coming up.
And the clock continues to move here in the 4th quarter. That's a really good thing for the Rangers. Fake the jet sweep there to Mason Pierce, which has been so efficient around the red zone. He's had many touchdown runs via that. And yet it was a fake where Williams went up the middle and put himself into 3rd and short.
A field goal keeps it a 2-possession game, but a touchdown will put this one well out of reach. 3rd and 2 from the 7. Pierce, the motion man, takes the handoff. A block from Franco, cuts upfield into the end zone for the touchdown. But a penalty marker back at the 5. This one might come back again.
Sure looks like it will. That looked like the flag thrown by the umpire, wasn't it?
It was. Right in the teeth of where the play was developing. The ball spotted right now at the 5-yard line. Not sure why. Pierce scored. It is another chop block against Smithson Valley, their 2nd called against them tonight. Boy, and Coach Hill not happy about that call. And he is a good 20 yards onto the field. Goodness. And our head official, Brock Pittman, comes over to talk to Coach Hill as that flag wipes out a game-sealing touchdown. And now it's gone from a score to 3rd down at about 15 from the 20-yard line.
We don't do this often, but let me tell you what a great job of officiating Brock Pittman just did. He had a coach that was extremely irritated. He walked him back to the sideline while he was answering questions and having a conversation. He turned. Coach Hill went back after him, and he walked him right back to the sideline again. So easy to throw a flag there on the coach.
Right.
He knew that was too important in a game like this. Good job of officiating by our head referee tonight.
The Rangers have to reach the 5-yard line for a 1st down. Williams on the keeper, up the middle. A nice burst, but well short of the 1st down to the 12. However, much more makeable field goal now for Reed if the Rangers do send him out there. If not, it'd be about 4th down and 7.
Also a much closer, if you go for it. Player went down, which will give the Rangers a chance to talk this one over without using a timeout.
It's the quarterback, Levi Williams, by the way, who was down. If you recall, Williams left the game briefly last week against Judson, giving way to Colton Eilers in the 2nd half. Eilers ran a few plays, threw a pass, completed it, and the Rangers' eventual 40-37 win. We did see Trevon Merrick Woodard go down to the game earlier, taking a shot below the waist. He did return. and in fact is looking at his quarterback right now.
And again, the stadium goes eerily quiet.
Oh, yes. The stadium would respond to this if it was anybody on the field, but now you're talking about the junior quarterback who has led this team to an 8-1 record on the cusp of 9-1 at a district championship with hopes of a long and fruitful playoff run ahead of them. And you'd think it'd have to be Williams leading them on that kind of run. So hopefully whatever is going on right now is not too serious. 4:21 to go, fourth quarter. Rangers on top 16-7 as Williams is helped to his feet. This, though, not a good sign. Being helped towards the sideline.
He's putting no pressure on that left leg.
That's right. He's trying to now.
Yeah.
And his foot is on the ground, but very slowly towards the sideline. And we will monitor that as close as we can moving forward. And again, the backup quarterback is Colton Eilers, a junior. Playing time limited this year. Only 12 pass attempts. Does have 135 yards passing and a touchdown. Meanwhile, the game situation, 4th and 7 for Smithson Valley at the Unicorn 12-yard line. Clock ticking now, under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. As Levi Williams makes his way to the training table, and the Rangers spend their second timeout with 3:57 to go. Or their third and final timeout, beg your pardon. On top 16-7. Once down to the game, 7-0. Back in the first quarter, New Braunfels struck first. Again, the big play for the Unicorns. A 72-yard run by Ryan Redding. Take out that one play, and New Braunfels has less than 150 yards of offense in this game tonight. The bottom line is, Tony, the Ranger defense will give them a shot to win any playoff game this year.
I agree with you there, and it's been something we've talked about all year, that the program has put that defense in so many difficult positions this year, and they have come through on almost every one of them.
And Williams, helmet off, still being looked at by the training staff, and a lot of eyes making the way right now to that side of the Rangers sideline. So the Rangers will forego the field goal attempt. Here is Eilers on the offense from the 12. He will throw it towards the end zone. Back shoulder attempt for Ray ball. Falls incomplete. Broken up by Sauceda. And New Braunfels gets a turnover on downs with 3:52 to go in the game. And the Rangers on top by 9.
Unicorns take over on downs.
By the way, I know the result not there, but not a bad throw by Eilers.
No, not a bad throw, and really, Radebon had a chance. Defensive back just made a nice play to make it difficult.
And now 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. For Redding of the offense, they go to work. It is a run. No, play action and a drop on the pass to the far side. Incomplete for the tight end, Zach Alamon. 2nd and 10. And again, not sure if you're down by 9 with 3:47 to go, backed up at your own 12-yard line, who's going to bite on a play action?
You know, it's funny, though. That was almost one of those run-pass options that you see running quarterbacks get.
Right.
We haven't seen many of those tonight.
Not really.
We haven't seen him ride or running back to the line of scrimmage and then pull back and throw a pass. He's been mostly one or the other definitively.
You make Redding one-dimensional, he struggles. At a passing situation here, steps up to throw, flushed out and runs out. Forced out by Gibbons at around the 15. Good for 3, stops the clock, 3:40 to go. The Braunfels down 16-7, and their season, no matter how the game finishes, winding down.
if this is a one-possession game, there's a lot of time on the clock. In a two-possession game, it makes this drive so critical that it happens in a hurry. And right now, they're struggling to get their first down.
The Braunfels has to go 85 yards to score. That'll take a lot of time, barring a home run play. And then you got to get the ball back and score again. Here's a blitz on 3rd down, and running brought down back at the 10-yard line. C.J. Keeler. He has been a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks all year long. A sack back at the 11, and it brings up 4th down and long.
Really, what can you say? This defensive line, they've all made plays tonight. Pow, Elliott, Keeler.
Richard Flores.
Richard Flores. This has been a spectacular play by everyone that's played on the defensive line tonight.
The Braunfels going for it, down by 9, 3 minutes to go. On 4th and 12. Redding, pressured again, going deep over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Dulaban, overshot him, and the Ranger defense forces a 4-and-out turnover on downs, ball back in the offense, and that should ice the game.
Dulaban's one of the receivers that we know can go up and get a ball, but he's going up against Woodard, who's going to TCU. Just on athlete versus athlete, I think Woodard has the advantage.
And again, the training staff still looking at Levi Williams on the sidelines. Might be a silver lining to report that he's not been taken back to the locker rooms. As Eilers comes out with the offense, and now the 27-6A title, just 3 minutes away from coming back to Smithson Valley. Here's a run for Franco on 1st down, and muscles up to the 5-yard line for a good 6-yard run. 2nd down and 4.
Now punching it in will just be icing on the cake.
Should be. You look back through this district season for Smithson Valley, you mentioned the heavyweights earlier. The Rangers are one of them. So of the 3 heavyweight opponents they've played this year, they've gone 2-1. Wins over Judson last week, #1 ranked team of the state. Steele, one of the great powerhouses statewide. A year ago playing in the state championship game. Rangers knocked them off 43-20. A run for Franco here on 2nd down. And dropped it around the 3 after a 2-yard pickup. 2 minutes to go now. Rangers on top by 9. And the other game, a loss to a really stout Clemens defense. 16-10 a Buffalo win. But Tony, I wonder about the Buffaloes, and while defensively, again, they'll have a shot to win any playoff game. Can they do anything on offense?
That is a big question as they go into that round.
3rd and 2. Eilers nearly got the Unicorns to jump, and he did. This will be a half the distance penalty. Not sure if it will be enough to give the Rangers a 1st down. And let's see where they spot the ball. Right at the 2-yard line. And just short of the yard to gain. Again, Clemens, 13 points last night, not enough to beat Steele on a 14-13 loss last week against the Braunfels. The offense only scored 10, completed 1 pass, but enough to win the game. 3rd and less than a yard, run for Franco up the middle, and powers into the end zone for the touchdown for Franco, his 2nd this year. And the Rangers on top now 22-7 with 1:14 to go. And Smithson Valley's second half is very good.
We talked about the first couple of drives, how hard New Braunfels defense was hitting the Rangers. Right now the Rangers are hitting much harder back, and that's been a difference in the game, I think, since the opening quarter.
After the PAT read, that kick is good. Still technically a 2-possession game, but 1:14 left, 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions needed. Probably too much to ask of the Braunfels at this point. So their season, Tony, will end at 6-4. And again, just tough to be in this 27-6A league. A lot of teams will be looking at realignment closely, maybe no program more closely than New Braunfels.
you know, you wonder, there's all kinds of programs like them in this vicinity that wish they were somewhere else.
Yeah.
Do they go to the Buda Hayes and that just San Marcos and go up that way? Probably would be better for them without a doubt in so many realms. You know, and as bad as this district is for them for football, it's just as bad for basketball.
Sure,
when you're going up against the Judsons and the Clemens and those programs that win continuously, Steel.
Yes.
You know, they produce teams in every sport that are excellent.
It's a good baseball district as well.
It
Softball really strong. Volleyball very competitive.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's a kickoff from Rita Squibb, picked up with a 27. And that is Fain on the return. Check that. Zachary Yaws taking it out to the 37-yard line. First intended, Braunfels with 68 seconds to go in the regular season.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking, why do you squib it there? And the simple reason is more clock runs off.
Yep.
It's, you know, they get a better return because they haven't really had any kind of a return. But the clock starts moving when the ball is touched. Now it shouldn't be no more than 3 plays unless somebody goes out of bounds before this one's over.
And still keeping an eye on Levi Williams on the sideline, as the Braunfels will send it as backup quarterback, and a quick completion out to the 46-yard line. Good catch out in space on the catch there for the Braunfels was Garrett Fleming, and the quarterback now Trey Johns for the Unicorns. So the career wrapping up now for Ryan Redding, and in that career over 5,000 total yards of offense, and explosive player for 3 seasons in the Braunfels. 30 seconds to go, and Johns will keep it himself, and he will spin out of a tackle and drop down to the 47-yard line, make it the 48. And let's see, the Braunfels will run the hurry up. If they don't, that might have been the game's final play.
They send another play in from the sideline, which should mean they probably won't have a chance to get this one off.
They break the huddle with 5 seconds to go, and Johns, not in a hurry, will not get the snap, and that will do it. Your 27-6A champions reside in Spring Branch. Smithson Valley a 23-7 winner to cap off a 9-1 regular season.
And the only thing you can think about right now as you get ready for the playoffs is your quarterback going to be healthy as he walks onto the field on crutches.
Again, the final score from Ranger Stadium, Smithson Valley 23, New Braunfels 7. Back to wrap things up on the Rangers Network. This is Smithson Valley football.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium with one of the toughest district championships to win in this state is 27-6A. But the Rangers have done that as they finish district play with a record of 6-1. Only blemish, a 16-10 loss to Clemens 3 weeks ago, capping off their district title with a win over the Braunfels tonight, 23-7. And welcome back here at Smithson Valley. Brent Freeman with Tony Brubaker to wrap up our broadcast and the regular season. And Tony, not pretty at all times tonight, but the Rangers defensively, again, looked really good.
And there's so many guys we talked about at the end of the game, the defensive line, which seemed to make so many plays tonight. Zuber, Keeler, you know, all the guys that we've talked about all year. The secondary, I thought, played really well through most of the game. Other than the 172-yard run by Reading where we missed some tackles, our defense didn't allow their offense to get in sync tonight, and that's a really good thing because their offense has put up a lot of points this year.
Now, certainly, Tony, a bittersweet win because towards the end of the game, a scary moment with quarterback Levi Williams going down. Initially didn't put any weight on his left leg coming towards the sideline. Appeared to try to do that as he made his way to the training table. He eventually did, take his jersey off, his pads off, and join his teammates in the post-game celebration, albeit got out there on crutches. Again, far too early to speculate anything about Williams' future moving forward, but we'll definitely be keeping track of that in the days to come leading up to the playoff opener next week.
The Rangers are a great football program and have been under Larry Hill, and they will continue to play well no matter who plays quarterback next week. Obviously, Ranger fans and Ranger coaches and Ranger parents and Ranger players all want that to be Levi Williams, but we don't know right now. And it would be silly for us to speculate what his chances to play next week would be. Let's just suffice to say the Rangers will show up next week, next Friday night here, and be ready to play a first-round playoff game.
Rangers against either Brandeis or Jay next week, 7:30 right here from Ranger Stadium. And that will do it for a coverage of the season finale tonight. From Smithson Valley, your final score again, Rangers 23, Unicorns 7. On behalf of our entire Rangers Network crew, I'm Brant Freeman saying goodnight.